Okay, so here we are. I'm with Will Ferrell. Or I always keep calling you Will Ferrell.
You got the
Is
last name
Farrell
right, at
is,
least.
is Farrell your real name?
Yeah, Farrell's my middle name.
Oh, it's your middle name. Okay.
Yeah,
And Farrell Mcguire is your YouTube channel.
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit first about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, so I started in 2023. It's a bit of a long story, but basically, I've been doing music for a long time and trying and failing to put music out there. And I wanted to maybe like gather an audience some other way other than releasing music. And so I decided to start making YouTube videos about things that I'm interested in, and then I would put my music in the background. And I did one video, and it just did really well. And I guess after that, I just kind of got bit by the bug, and I kept going. And now my life has kind of shifted a bit, and now I'm just kind of doing YouTube and music as a bit of an afterthought. But it's been a crazy couple of years.
Well, your YouTube channel does really well. It looks as though, I mean, I
Yeah, in
think
the
we both
last
know
little
how.
while, it's definitely really popped off in a lot of ways. I'm hoping maybe this year I could go full time with it. It's definitely, going in that direction at least.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah, so in my day job, I actually work for a cybersecurity company, and we specifically work to prevent people from being phished. So that's when somebody sends you an email that looks like an email from somebody else, and you click on it, you enter in your login information, and then suddenly somebody's stolen your login information. So that's a very common thing that happens nowadays. I mean, basically, the internet and everybody being online has just given people instant access to anybody. And it's just opened up these new pathways to scam people that just never really existed before.
So tell me, how did you fall upon the twin flame universe?
So me and my wife were watching the Netflix documentary, and I mean, obviously, it's a really crazy story. And it was in that documentary that I saw a brief mention of divine gaming. There was a part where they were going over the different business activities of Twin Flames Universe and the Church of Union, and obviously, they talk a bit about the divine food thing, but they also show beside divine food, divine gaming, just for a second, but they never brought it up again. So I thought that's strange, because that could be one of two things, right? Divine gaming, that's either gambling or video games. And so I looked it up, and there is a divine gaming, and it's made by Twin Flames Universe, and they were developing a Minecraft mod, which was just really strange and unusual. And when I first saw that, I didn't even think it was real. I didn't think it was actually something made by Twin Flames Universe. But then, I kept researching, and I actually found a letter written by Jeff talking about this Minecraft mod. And it's just such a bizarre thing for, an organization like Twin Flames Universe to pursue, because people don't really make money off of Minecraft mods. They're typically released for free, and in fact, you can play Nightmarecraft, Twin Flames Universe's Minecraft mod, for free, and it just doesn't really make sense, because everything else about Twin Flames Universe is about making money, except for this one thing. It's very
Right.
strange.
Right. So what do you think his motive is for that then?
So at one point I found a letter on the Divine Gaming website. It's not there anymore, unfortunately, and I don't think it's been archived, but I do show it in my YouTube video, and it's a big blurb written by Jeff talking about his passion for video games and how much time he spent playing different video games. And one of them he mentioned was Minecraft. I think he said he has like thousands of hours playing Minecraft. So I assume possibly it could be like some passion work for him. It's just, something he wants to do. Maybe it's an ego trip, because obviously the main character is styled after him, the hero of the ages, and everything is kind of about him. So it could be an ego trip. There also could be a darker aspect to it, though, because Minecraft obviously is very popular with children. And it makes you think, like, is this some sort of pathway into Twin Flames universe for younger people? Um, I joined their Discord when I was researching for my video, and I made a new account and everything. And the first thing that struck me about their Discord is that they don't mention Twin Flames Universe or the Church of Union anywhere. There's a very brief mention of the Church of Union in one of their oldest posts, and it just says that it's their investor. The Church of Union is the one making this project financially viable. But other than that, that's the only mention. And so at one point, I just straight up asked, what is the Church of Union? And then they banned me right away. As soon
Oh,
as
so
they
you,
saw that, they banned me.
oh, so they never responded to you on that.
No, they didn't respond. They just deleted my message and banned me. So I had to make another account to join to just, keep lurking in there to see what they were doing.
Now, I thought I saw something that you did talk to the two people, and I'm going to
Yeah, I
slaughter.
had, I had reached out to them, but they never responded to me. That was Laurentiu and Alexandra.
Okay, and I saw something where they had said that Jeff was generous to donate. I mean, is there any um, proof, anything concrete that we know? I mean, it says that Church of Union is the investor, obviously. So,
Yeah,
and Church of Union is a nonprofit.
yeah.
So how does that work?
They must get a lot of donations, I guess. I'm not entirely sure how the money's being moved around. From what I remember hearing in the existing documentaries, and also that very large article written by Alice Hines, I think their business practices are very convoluted. They have a lot of different companies set up, and it's a very complicated thing to follow. So I'm not exactly sure how the money is being moved around.
Right, but when you say that 500 grand, where are we getting that 500 grand from?
So on their CurseForge page, which is the main website where you can actually download the mod, they had a big poster just talking about the different features, just to attract people to the mod. And one of the things they say there is that it's one of the biggest Minecraft mods with over $500,000 invested.
Right, okay. And because of a little bit of conversation, you believe it. Do you know for a fact that it came from Church of Union?
You can only really piece together a story just by looking at what they've put out there themselves. And at one point on Facebook, they posted that the Church of Union was what made this project financially viable. They seem to talk about the Church of Union more in their older communications, but it seems like maybe since the documentaries came out, they are trying to maybe bury the connection a little bit. But the only like thing tying the Church of Union to this project are the things that they themselves have said.
And also, and right here that I have on this form is saying that our investors, Church of Union, I mean,
Yeah.
it says it right there.
Yeah, and they throw different figures around on their Patreon, which I don't think has been updated in a few years. They mentioned that they've invested 250,000.
They, as Jeff and Shalia,
Well,
combined.
or rather, they say that $250,000 has been invested in the project.
Okay, but not. And so where's this money coming from, right?
Yeah,
And then what's legal about that? If you have a nonprofit and a nonprofit is donating to a profit
Minecraft mod.
making,
Yeah,
right? So there has to be something illegal about that, period.
probably. I would assume so.
Right. If you think about a Church of Union nonprofit, aren't they supposed to be donating to charities or doing something good for the community?
Not developing a Minecraft mod, probably.
So talking about gaming, it's a really good thing for kids, right? So the
Yeah,
biggest issue with the Twin Flame universe is that most people say they're not doing anything illegal. Well, people aren't digging deep enough, because I happen to believe they are doing things illegal,
yeah, absolutely.
and that they're building this multi-layer pyramid scheme,
Yeah,
and they have all their for-profits that all their little people that spend thousands of dollars to be a part of volunteer for. So Jeff's a millionaire and everybody else is
yeah.
not making anything. And in the Church of Union, they volunteer for that. And then all this money, I'm just like, could Jeff like personally like take his money, put it into the Church of Union? And I'm not really savvy with all that, with all the tax stuff and how all that works. But do you think this game is a recruitment center?
That's what I'm wondering. From what I saw in the Discord, it doesn't seem like they're directly recruiting anybody, but I did see quite a few children in there. I've seen people that, mention that they were 16, 14, and, obviously it is a Discord community focused around Minecraft, which is a game primarily played by children. But it's a little disturbing that this is all being sponsored by an organization like Twin Flames Universe that has the history that it has.
With more of the cult feel, right? Pulling
Yeah,
people
exactly.
in, mind manipulation. Could the game be a mental manipulator game?
I don't think so. I played about half of it, and you know, it's interesting how some of the themes of Twin Flames Universe comes up in the game. Like the Church of Union is a building in the game that you can
I saw
visit.
that.
There's a physical Church of Union in the game. And all the characters are voiced by people in Twin Flames Universe. Laurentiu and Alexandra, they have counterparts in the game. And every character is voiced by somebody in Twin Flames Universe. But they don't, from what I saw, they don't talk about Twin Flames Universe directly in the game. There's just
Right,
all these little Easter eggs everywhere that you
right.
can
The
pick up.
divine dish.
Divine Dish, that's right. That's like the item you consume to heal yourself in the game.
Right. So you have the divine dish, and then you have Church of Union. And if people are kids are seeing that, are playing this game, and they're like, "What is divine dish?" They could either because I'm not a gamer, so I don't understand how all that works. But could they Google on their own, or is there a way that Jeff can pull people in on that and then send them off of that Discord to go look and pull and suck them into the Twin Flame universe?
Potentially, of course, they can do many things, just because they haven't done something yet doesn't mean they might not do something in the future. They have a community filled with very young people that they have easy access to now.
On their 990s. Okay, so we've looked at all that. We have all these charts that I've done, and they hide all that in their 990, and they're expensing that off through the Church of Union. So
Yeah.
on their and they're using it as a contractor programming.
Okay.
And they're putting it under contractor programming, which is a software developer, right? So that
Yeah.
would be who these two people are that have done all this work on it.
Mhm.
I've expensed a lot out of the Church of Union for this
Right.
game under contractor programming. So they're not saying directly it's for Divine Gaming.
Okay. But what else would they pay software developers so much money to make?
Right.
I guess that
What
makes
else?
sense.
Right, because it costs a lot of money to make these games.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, just the amount of developer time would be very expensive. I totally believe the $500,000 figure if they've been paying people for 4 years. It makes a lot of sense.
And that's a good question too. Are they paying people? Because it says right on the website with Laura, I can't say their names, but those two people are not, they're volunteering.
Yeah, I kind of wonder about that. Uh, it's possible that they are just volunteers, but maybe I mean, it's just speaking like as a software developer myself, because that is what I do in my day job. It would be a very large commitment to develop something like this for free. Like this is the sort of thing you would spend as it would. It's the sort of thing that would be your day job if you're developing something this grand.
So what would their motive be? Because he always makes it like he's the divine master, right? He
Yeah,
has so much to offer, so much to give, and you should be grateful to have me in your life.
yeah,
And you need to do all this for nothing, basically. All the coaches, everybody that comes down from him, and none of them are making any kind of money, of
yeah,
course, on the level of Jeff and Shalia. They're
yeah.
multimillionaires. And then you have all these coaches that are barely making anything, and he takes a cut of every single thing. So if you're telling me that Divine Gaming really isn't about money, it's free to play, where is there the financial gain in that?
Yeah, that's what's really strange about this because it's the only piece of this story that's like that. Like you said, everything else is about money in some way, except for this one thing. And it's just so weird to try to figure out what the motivation is. Like I said, maybe it's about recruiting people at some point. Maybe it's just an ego project for Jeff, that he's so into gaming and now he has a video game centered around himself. It could be that, but I don't know how many other ego projects like that he has. Why would it just be this one thing?
With the Divine Gaming, right? Because
Yeah,
everything else, Divine Dish, Map, all the master certified coaches, all of that
it's very
is
expensive, everything else.
right. Well, they charge. So it's
Yeah,
all, but it is about recruitment. And that's where I feel like Divine Gaming has to play a role in that. Because,
I feel like it probably will at some point.
right, because they're
Even if not now.
right. And I'm also hearing too that the biggest part of their followers right now is India, people in India.
Interesting. That's huh. I wonder, is that like a new development now?
Well, I know he had a lot of India-based clientele, but I don't know if with the Netflix more of American people are saying no, I don't want any part of this
Okay, so they have to look in other markets, I guess.
to keep it going.
Interesting.
Right. What's your take on these people? I mean, tell me how you feel about Jeff and Shalia when you really looked into them and
Yeah, well, I mean, they just come off as like con artists more than anything else. I mean, yeah, Jeff seems like a cult leader in many ways. He definitely presents himself. I mean, at one point he did say that he was Jesus with the somehow like without laughing, which is just insane. I feel like at the end of the day, he's an egomaniac. He wants to take advantage of people. I think that he doesn't respect his followers. I think this is about power. This is about money. And, maybe he's a sociopath. Maybe he's a psychopath. And he's just taking advantage of people in whatever way he can.
we know that's not illegal, right? People make a choice.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They spend the money, they get involved and want to say whatever it is, but you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
What would you see him doing then that would be illegal in your
Well,
mind?
I do think he's definitely probably doing something illegal with money. I mean, the motivation to open a church, it would make sense if he's making all this money and he's paying a lot of taxes to just funnel the money through a nonprofit that he owns. You know,
Right.
you donate to a nonprofit, it comes off of your taxable income. So, just donate all your taxable income to your own nonprofit that you can spend that money whatever way you wish, you know. I feel like there's definitely probably something illegal there, but they've just made it complicated enough that nobody's bothered to follow it so closely, or he hasn't been audited yet.
So what do you think would be the end all for Twin Flame Universe? What do you think would it take for them for his empire to crash?
I really do feel like it's probably going to be something with the money because, there have been worse things than Twin Flames Universe in this same kind of like vein. There's Andrew Tate who has this Hustlers masterclass. I don't know what it's called, but it's similar to Twin Flames Universe. It's like a cult of personality. People have to pay thousands of dollars a month to be able to attend this thing. And, he's in Romania. He got in trouble for, I think, sex trafficking, actually.
Oh,
Uh,
I've read a little bit on him. Yeah.
yeah. So, like, what he
Right.
was doing with his Hustlers University, that's what it was called. That,
Also,
yeah, it wasn't fully illegal. People were kind of getting duped, but it wasn't really illegal what he was doing. He was just
right.
selling himself to be something that he wasn't and offering things to people that he couldn't really deliver on, but it wasn't necessarily illegal. And Twin Flames Universe is similar in that way. It's
Right.
the cult of personality, but maybe it's not entirely illegal unless you start looking at where the money's going, and then maybe something illegal is happening on. And I think
Right.
the Twin Flames Universe will be something simple. The Twin Flames Universe masterclass or whatever. or the coaching sessions, probably not illegal, but they will get them on something financial, I assume.
Well, in talking about that, and this has always hit a nerve with me with the coaching and being a master certified, and then having MAP, which is mind alignment process,
Yeah.
and claiming to cure cancer, as Jeff did at one time. I think he
Yeah.
backed out of that claim, but even still, who's qualifying these people? Where do they
Yeah.
get their certification? What makes them certified on a legal stance to really deal with people's trauma, psychological, mental, physical?
Well, from what I remember, I don't think they do have any of those qualifications, right?
Right, they don't. But like they claim is in the spiritual world, they don't have to have that.
Yeah.
Meaning that, right, they're ordained, so they can just do what they want. But it's not that simple. It's not like you and I just talking about your relationship and I'm going to talk to you about it. We're talking about some serious trauma, like abuse and things that are, and you're going to talk to them like a paid psychiatrist. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
And 200, 300 an hour for people that have no credentials, no schooling, no education, and they can go on. I mean, in a way, that seems like that would be illegal, or at least it should be.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it could be considered fraud.
Right.
I'm sure maybe there could be some case for fraud somewhere, but I guess it depends how careful they've been. I'm sure some of the things they've said in their sessions are definitely not true, and maybe if somebody were to dig through those pretty closely again, maybe a case could be made. I had tried to see if I could get any sort of access for these coaching sessions that I saw in the Netflix and the Prime documentaries, but I think you actually have to like buy into the program to be able to access them. So I wasn't able to do that. Yeah, I mean, it's just really strange for the Church of Union to be developing Nightmarecraft. And I guess one thing I'll add is if you look at some of the hidden pages on their website, the Divine Gaming website, because not every page is linked to from the homepage, right? But they're still available on the web. So you can see some pages that they made a few years ago that they haven't taken down, but they are trying to hide from public users. And one of them, they had mentioned that they were making a mobile game, which was completely different to Nightmarecraft. And, a mobile freemium free-to-play game with microtransactions, that would be the most lucrative form of video game development, because mobile games make more money than I think the rest of the gaming industry combined. So if they had gone that route, that would have been probably very lucrative for them. But instead, they just kind of abandoned that and went to Nightmarecraft, which is very strange because it's kind of the opposite. It's a lot more work than making a mobile game, and it's for basically no money. I think the only way they can earn money on Nightmarecraft, I think CurseForge, the website that hosts Minecraft mods, they offer a very small sum of compensation for some of their top mods. But from what I remember, people commenting on my video, that probably would have amounted to less than $1,000. So basically, wow, no return on this giant investment that's been made into this project. And
but no skin off his back, really. I
yeah,
mean, if it's all, because I'm still trying to figure out like who would actually donate anything to the Church of Union.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has. Maybe some of their more devout followers have. I'm not sure.
Right.
But in terms of like supporting Nightmarecraft, I think the only way you can directly support them is through their Patreon, where you can subscribe to them for a monthly fee. But I'm pretty sure they have less than 200 users doing that. So again, a very small amount of money compared to what they're investing into it.
What they're right.
Yeah, and from what I remember, I think Nightmarecraft is either the most expensive or the second most expensive Minecraft mod ever made, or maybe I might have to look this up in my video because I don't remember exactly what I said, but it might be actually the most expensive Minecraft mod ever, and it's one of the most expensive video game mods ever made.
Yeah, I think you said that in your video about that too.
Yeah.
And what is the motive to want to do these games if there's no money involved in it?
That's the weird thing. Well, for for people, they just do it because they are part of the community, and they enjoy I guess giving back to the community. And then they get like a heightened status among other people. They can tell people like, oh, I made this famous mod. So for most people, it's just a work of passion. And most Minecraft mods aren't nearly on this scale. They're much smaller, right? And it's just something people do in their free time for fun. But this Nightmare Craft isn't like that. This is like a fully featured, I think I put maybe 10 hours of my time to get halfway through it. So it's a very large project. It's on the scale of like some like big budget games in some sense, half $1 million. There's
Well,
definitely
right.
some.
And where does that money go? I mean, if a lot of these people do it because it's a passion and a love, then it's time invested. So
Yeah.
what is 500 grand needed for?
So I feel like Laurentiu and Alexandra are probably getting compensated in some way. And then other than that, I know that they've hired some artists and some Minecraft modders to work for them, because you can make money doing that, working on other people's projects.
Oh,
And
right, right.
I think at one point somebody had approached me saying that they had done a bit of work on Nightmare Craft, but for very little money. So that wouldn't be a very large source of their money, I don't think.
Right,
These
right,
other
okay.
people. I feel like it's probably mostly going to paying Laurentiu and Alexandra, if I had to guess.
Right,
Because
but they're getting,
yeah, when you think about it, they've been paid for 4 years and it's two people. It's not like it's not a wild thing to spend that amount of money on two software developers' salaries for 4 years.
still a lot of money,
Oh, of
right?
course. Yeah, it's an insane amount of money to invest in a Minecraft mod of all things. I guess I'll also say that the diminishing presence of Jeff in Divine Gaming is very strange. One of the earliest versions of their website had Jeff's picture right on the front page as president and founder of Divine Gaming, and that's not there anymore. In fact, his presence on the website is basically zero. I don't think he appears anywhere. You can find some hidden pages that aren't linked anywhere on the front page that still mention him in some ways. His picture is still hosted on the website, but he's not mentioned anywhere. To really find this connection, you have to dig years in the past to back to 2021, before the whole Twin Flames universe controversies blew up in mainstream media. And that's where you really see the connection. You see Jeff posting about it on his Instagram, on his Facebook. You see the Divine Gaming Facebook page mentioning the Church of Union several times. I think at one point Jeff had even done a live stream playing the game. So
Okay.
the diminishing presence is very strange. And the fact that they banned people from their Discord for even just bringing up the Church of Union, I didn't say like, oh, you guys are part of a cult or anything. I just said, what's the Church of Union? And they banned me for saying that. That shouldn't be a
Right.
controversial question when they say that the Church of Union is their investor. Why are they trying to hide this?
That video was so good. It's just what I wanted to see was everybody has taken the cult aspect with them. That's all you see on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's cult, cult, cult. And the problem with me with that is that you can't do anything about that. I mean, there's more to this guy. There's more going on here that we're not looking at. Cult is a distraction from really what's going on.
Yeah. Like when my motivation to make that video was just that I thought it would just bring it to a different audience, than because the people who are into cult stuff already have probably consumed a lot of media about Twin Flames universe. But people on my section of YouTube would definitely be interested in a Minecraft mod developed by a cult. That's just an inherently interesting topic. So I thought it would be like interesting to viewers, and luckily it seems like it was.
It was, and it was very well presented and very well put together.